And you are listening to KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, Mid-Missouri source for in-depth news, diverse talk, and wonderful music. On the air, 89.5 on your FM dial and streaming live on the web at kopn.org. My name is Mike Hagan. It's Radio Orbit. No, it's not. It's Open Mic Radio. And, oh man, I'm getting confused now because I'm doing that one again now too. Anyway, it is Open Mic Radio. It's 9 a.m. on Friday morning, October the 19th, and we're going to get things going right away with some music from the Daves. That's the way I like to get my Friday mornings rolling.
All right.
A little bit of blues music from the Daves. Welcome to Open Mic Radio, and welcome to Dave and Dave and Dave.
A.K.A. Justin.
Hey,
Dirty Dave.
That's right. Well,
hey, I like that.
Let's say hello to the audience real fast here, and let me get a couple things out of the way. It is Friday, October the 19th, the Friday. Anyway, don't forget it. It's the Friday, October the 19th. And today, cloudy, a little bit of rain maybe. High around 60, but going to be a pretty nice day. Same for the rest of the weekend, I think, plus or minus. So get out there and enjoy it. 915 East Broadway if you want to swing by and say hi to me and the gang. Everybody else is down here, so you might as well stop in. All right, big thank you to Pippa Letsky for coming by last week. Played some beautiful fiddle music.
That was a nice show.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dave.
That was really nice. I enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah, she's an interesting woman. You know, she went to the same college as Diana here in the corner.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I know. It's a small world, I'll tell you what. Anyway, so Pippa, thanks a lot. And on the web at pippaletsky.com. Okay, today I've got the Daves with me. I am expecting Paul Weber, perhaps, and at least a couple scrappers. We got two of them here already, and maybe
there's a bit of overlap.
Yeah, they do kind of, but that's all right. Todd Day-Wait, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if Todd comes down, but let's say hello, Dave.
Hello.
How
Thanks
are you,
for having us, Mike.
You're welcome.
it's great to be back on a Friday morning, and we have a purpose behind it. That is this evening, back-to-back situation. We're doing the Rose Happy Hour, Rose Music Hall, 5 to 7. And then, in an exciting event at Cafe Berlin, biscuits and barbecue and blues and honky-tonk. Cafe Berlin is putting on an event where Three Creeks Produce is supplying local pasture-raised pork, locally raised, chemical spray-free produce, all for a barbecue plate price of $10.
Fantastic, with the music.
And Cafe Berlin's delicious, world-famous biscuits to go along with it. And then there's going to be three acts. It's going to be Todd Day Wait, us, the Daves, and then the honky-tonk sounds of Paul Weber and the Scrappers.
All right.
So it's 5:30 till 10. I think probably music will start around 6 with Todd, and then we will scuttle across the street from Rose, perhaps carrying our PA, perhaps not.
All right.
And certainly carrying our guitars, and we will dive into an event that is right up my alley, you might say, a blues and barbecue thing with locally produced food, and a real righteous vibe venue is hard to beat.
All right. I'm looking forward to that, too. I didn't realize until a couple days ago that was going down, but that's going to be great.
Biscuits and barbecue, Cafe Berlin.
All right, and don't forget, before that, at Rose, we guys be out in the park, you think? Or you think you'll be inside?
If it stays like this, I think we'll probably be inside, but we can make that decision
I guess it depends on
as the day progresses.
On the weather. Either way, you got happy hour tonight at Rose. That starts at about 5. You got the Daves down there.
Well.
I told him I believe it when I see it.
In walks Paul Weber.
Paul Weber. In the house.
All right. So for those in Radio Land, Paul Weber just dropped a stack of the Scrappers CDs, Paul Weber and the Scrappers. And if you have not heard this CD, it is outstanding.
It's one of my favorite records in the last couple of years. I say that. I've said it on the air plenty of times, but I've never said it right in front of Paul. I love that record from top to bottom. Wow, it's a fantastic record.
It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All original songs and just right in
awesome.
the honky-tonk wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be paying you for this?
We ought to be, but you don't have to.
We were talking about Three Creeks a minute ago and the barbecue event.
Well, actually, Paul, why don't you grab that mic and make it a little bit closer to you? And because I've talked to most of these guys before, we're going to
look pretty too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
So you got a face for radio.
For the listeners out there who are unfamiliar, Paul Weber of Paul Weber and the Scrappers is in the studio with me. It's the first time I've had him up here at the station. So, Paul, thank you and hello.
Hey, real pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah, of course, man. And anyway, great sounds going to be coming tonight at Rose and then over at Cafe Berlin. But let's talk about Three Creeks for a minute, because one of Paul's, I guess it's his primary occupation. He runs and operates an organic farm a little bit south of town, close to Ashland, I guess. And for people who aren't real familiar with what you guys are doing out there, why don't you tell people a little bit about Three Creeks?
Cool, yeah. My partner Emily and I run Three Creeks Produce. Emily Wright and I operate the farm. And we do specialty produce and pastured pork. Mostly it's a wholesale operation, so we're in restaurants and grocery stores. So places like Cafe Berlin, Flyover, Barred Owl. I actually am just coming from Nourish Cafe.
Really?
Just bought some kale.
Great.
So we have we deal with restaurants and groceries. So the grocery side, we're in both Clover's natural grocery stores, Lucky's Market, Hy-Vee. So
good for you.
Yeah, we're just slinging produce.
Does pork qualify as produce?
I don't know. See, that's the deal. I don't think it does. Technically, we kind of have a split. Like we have the Three Creeks Produce and then the Three Creeks Pasture Pork. But I think maybe
I specialize in technicalities.
Yeah, that's right. I realize I'm talking to a lawyer here. It's like, oh man, I plead the fifth. Whatever.
This is a civil matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so there's something special going on tonight. You guys produced a bunch of homegrown stuff for the party tonight at Cafe Berlin?
Yeah. So
what's on the menu?
So basically there are friends over there at Cafe Berlin, and we had this idea, everyone likes this farm to table thing, and we've done some dinners out at the
At your farm.
We did a farm dinner
just a month ago or so. Yeah.
With Peachtree Catering Company. They did. Well, they brought out all the tables and everything. It was really, really nice. But
the Pizza Tree
was involved, and I should mention that that Pizza Tree has got a bunch of stuff from us this year.
They're great. John's a great guy.
I mean, it's like if you're getting pizza, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. Either way, tonight we wanted to do something more casual barbecue. So we got a hog from the farm that we're cooking. It's being cooked right now. And we got a big old pot of greens, because mostly off the farm is what we have right now is greens, fall greens. Kind of cooked like some collards. It's radish greens, and there's some kale in there. And then the chefs over there, Jess Bowman and
Dave
Sam
just
Johnson.
His beer.
Yeah, wolves.
That was the brass slide.
Yeah.
Sean, it was not a beer, it was the brass slide.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he always says.
So they're making mashed potatoes and baked beans too, just because that's good. So and it's $10. I don't know if I can make that.
Yep.
Yeah. To me, the music alone is worth $10. So you got the Scrappers, you got the Daves, and you got Todd Day Wade. Is Todd just doing his own thing, or has he got a little band with him?
He's coming. He's doing a solo.
Okay.
Solo. So I'm super excited. So it starts at 5:30 and goes to pretty much till it's out of food, but probably go to 10:30, something like that.
It's got a pretty impressive social media response. So I throw that out there to say, get there early.
Yeah, I mean, the place isn't that big, and you guys will be performing in the lounge there where the stage is, and there's not a whole lot of room in there. So I suggest you get down there early and buy a ticket. It's going to be a lot of fun.
No ticket needed.
No ticket needed. Just buy them at the door.
Yeah, come in. You pay at the door, and we're all good for it. The people that cook over there, Jess and Sam and their whole crew at Berlin, they're serious business. They really do a good job. So, I mean,
there it is.
I know it's going to be good. So I appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. So we'll
local music, local artisans,
and local food.
See, and that's the whole thing. It was like that was the idea. It was like, let's do an event, the kind of event we would want to go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where there's some good food, some music. It's laid back. It's cool. It's not some overly produced thing. It's not like in a big park. It's it's just something casual where you can feel comfortable.
Right.
I just feel like there's
and they actually let us in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and you can never be too sure when they're going to let you in or when they're not around here. But so
that's
far,
right. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't want to belong to a club that lets me in.
And the bar is going to be open too. So and the bar at Cafe Berlin will be open. So for your beers, your liquor, wine, cocktails,
cranberry juice.
And Cafe Berlin has a nice selection of local beers, and I think they still have Stag on tap, so there's A to Z in terms of beverage options.
They've also got, in my opinion, my favorite ginger ale in the entire world, On the Gun there. They've got main
On
root,
the Gun.
ginger root.
Ginger ale on the gun.
Yeah, they've got that.
Stuff's like $9 a 4-pack.
Yeah, they've got the main root, that ginger beer there.
It's super good.
That says something about the quality of the establishment.
Yeah.
They're not messing around.
Yeah, that's serious business.
All right, well, I'll tell you, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes here and what else you guys have going on. But I'm going to play a song here by Paul Weber and the Scrappers. And then, and then we'll talk a little bit. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, so we'll chat about some other things around town, and you guys can play some more music for us and all that, okay? All right, it's Mike. You listen to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia. This is one from the Paul Weber and the Scrappers record that was released, 2017, 2016?
I think it was last year? Was it like January?
Maybe early 2017.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway, like I said, excellent record, and this is a song off of it that's called Ghosts. I'll be back in just a few minutes. It's Mike on KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, Open Mic Radio.
In his style, he was running wild as fast as he can. Broke the law in Arkansas and in Louisiana. in denial for a while, and then became aware that a crime here or a crime there is a crime everywhere. When you kill a man in a small town, his ghost will follow you around. I know that fading face, 'cause I've seen its open glow. You look slightly out of place from 15 years ago. And you are worse than the dead-end curse that haunt my halls at night. 'Cause I see you in the streets out in the broad daylight. When you lie with a girl in a small town, I will follow you around. And there's nothing that you can't say that'll shoo these ghosts away. And I know why they pray. They don't share this trouble they. Well, in the basement on the floor, behind the linen closet door, by the river in the woods you'd hide if you could. But this old world is an old house, and ghosts will follow you around. The ticking clock, it clicks and it marks us how far you've gotta go. Shame will rot, quick and hot in the breeze and in the snow. When you hide it deep inside, it'll never be composed. And this old life is a short ride, we're headed to who knows. And there's nothing they can't say that'll shoot these ghosts away. And I know why they pray. They don't share trouble fate. When you kill a man in a small town, his ghost will follow you around.
Ain't it the truth? You kill a man in a small town, someone's going to follow you around, that's for sure. All right, it's Mike. You're listening to KOPN Columbia Open Mic Radio, and welcome back to my friends in the studio here. We've got Dave Dearnley, Dave Angle, Paul Weber,
and the Trash Man,
and Justin Hickerson, the Trash Man. You know, he came earlier, and I thought he was going to be. I thought we beat him today, but now he's back for a second round.
It's all right. Adds a little ambiance to our Friday morning.
Oh yeah, every Friday, man, you can count on that
radio.
That's right.
Everybody likes to be on the radio.
So tonight, when you guys are playing at Cafe Berlin, will you mix it up at all? I mean, Paul, will you be sitting in with the Daves at all, or?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
right.
yeah, we're gonna mix it up, man.
That will be an interesting aspect of it, I think, because there is an overlap, and we might even coax Todd into doing some stuff, and you never know who will be a scrapper or who will be a Dave.
Yeah, and all of these guys can play with one another, no pun intended.
Well, except for Paul.
Paul plays with himself most of the time.
Yikes.
Yeah. Anyway, when you throw Justin in with a little tapping on the drum, and that always adds a nice touch to it. And we played poker the other night, Hickerson and I and a bunch of the other guys, and that was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. I heard this guy can play poker. He's pretty good.
He's a better drummer.
Pretty good?
He's a better drummer, Paul.
Oh, okay. You look.
He's a better drummer over here. Walked away with almost $200 last time I saw him.
Yeah, see, the thing is, dudes like Mike, you don't play poker with them. You just don't, man. If Mike asks, hey, you want to come over and play poker? No. I'm not doing it because it'll
be fun. It'll be fun. We'll make it interesting.
No, I'm definitely removing him from the group chat.
Hey.
Yeah, no,
we don't invite him over anymore.
There's like a type of guy you don't play poker with, and you're that type of guy,
I disagree.
Mike.
I totally disagree. I love it.
Of course you would. That's what that type of guy would say.
Yeah.
All right, hey, while Justin's getting set up here, I want to say hello. There's a bunch of people listening around the country, some friends and some that I don't know, but I want to say hi to my niece, Emily, down there in Texas.
Hi, my niece.
Did I say Denise? I meant Emily.
Denise.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought I said Denise. Anyway, hi, Emmy.
Hello, Emily.
And hi all to her lovely family down there. And there's some family up there in Illinois. We got people listening all around the country and some people in Europe. So,
is Steve up there listening?
I imagine he is. Yeah. Him and my buddy Mark, they listen pretty much every week.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So tonight we've got a great show coming up. Rose Music Hall at 5 o'clock. The Daves are playing the happy hour. And then directly after that, just across the street at Cafe Berlin, you've got Todd Day Waite, the Daves, and then Paul Weber and the Scrappers that are going to be playing from 6 o'clock probably all the way till 10 o'clock or so.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And it's going to be a fantastic night. You got Three Creeks Produce providing some wonderful food. The chefs down there at Berlin are going to cook it up real nice. And for $10, you can get in and enjoy all of that. So if you got nothing planned, that's certainly something to consider tonight.
And if you have something planned, change it.
There you go.
That's right.
And if you're driving on Park Avenue around 7, slow down because you'll see some staggering musicians crossing from Rose Music Hall to Cafe Berlin.
Maybe you should play Stagger Lee later.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we got the four of you guys here, and it looks like Justin's got his drum set up. Maybe you can play another song for us, huh?
Yeah, let's play, this is a Robert Johnson cover, Dust My Broom.
All right, cool. I'm going to have Dave, I'm going to have Dearnley, I'm going to have you put that mic pretty much right in between you and Paul, and then we'll go from there, and I'll try to adjust it.
Mail it off every town I know. Write me down a letter, baby. Mail it off every town I know. With you, darling, down in East Mine Road. Well, I don't want that woman, baby. Want every downtown man see me. Elmore James, Robert Johnson mashup.
I love it. Sounded good, gentlemen.
Thank you.
That's the Daves, along with a couple extra Daves here, although Paul really wasn't sitting in with that one. But that was Dave Dearnley, Dave Angle, and Dave Hickerson right here at KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. You listen to Open Mic Radio. It's Friday, the 19th of October. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and we've talked a little bit about tonight. I think let's do that a little bit more and mention some of the other things that are happening around town. Let's see. At the Blue Note tonight, we have OPU, So Down, and Lucid. I don't know.
Whoa.
What's the guess on that one?
Hip-hop or metal?
I'm thinking...
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Funkadelic.
Funkadelic. Diana from the corner for the win.
Nicely done.
It's actually my favorite.
All right, so we got some Funkadelic going on tonight at the Blue Note. They're dark tomorrow, but Sunday is Yonder Mountain. Mountain String Band at the Blue Note Sunday night. That's one that I'm going to try to make for sure. If you like bluegrass music and sort of along with sort of jamgrass, I mean, they can lay it down. They're fantastic. Yeah. So that's happening at the Blue Note. At Rose tonight, we've got the Daves at happy hour, so that's at 5 o'clock. And again, right across the street at 7, Cafe, or at what time's Cafe Berlin? 5:30 it starts, Paul?
Yeah, we're going to start serving food about 5:30.
And music about?
6-ish.
Okay.
It's casual. That's the thing, man. It's casual, so that's the nice part about it.
Leave your watch at home.
All right, sounds good. So Rose for happy hour, and then later at Rose, Desert Noises, Morning Teleportation, and Austin Jones and the Boot Heel Boys. I think that's sort of all country. A little bit later tonight at the Roachport store. What do we got going on?
Nothing good.
Nothing good. I shouldn't say that. They'll be like, Mike, don't say that about our place.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
It's the Sunny Show.
Yeah,
that's the Sunny Show. I don't know. What is that, Dave?
That's Steve Crazy Music.
Who?
And his wife.
Bill Barnhouse. Yeah. Barnhouse.
And
guy.
Heidi.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's tonight at the store. At the Station House, we've got Elliot Pearson and the Passing Lane. That's tonight at 6 o'clock. If you're outside of town, I guess. Cooper's Landing. I think they may be still having some trouble from the water or something because Mike hasn't put anything up for the last week or so.
No, it's off the road. I went down the river yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
It's borderline not Cooper's season anymore. I mean, I think they maybe
they're wrapping it up. Huh?
I'm sure they have events, and I know that they're open for business. But
Johnny Fox is playing there tonight.
Is that
Johnny
right?
Fox is?
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually quite a talented guy. Yeah. All right.
I saw that earlier in the week.
Okay. Well, Johnny Fox tonight at Cooper's. So might check that out. All right. That's about what's going on around town. And in a half an hour, there'll be another program coming on called Speaking of the Arts. And Diana Moxon does that program. And it's always an interesting show talking about some of the artistic efforts that are happening around town. I think she's going to talk a little bit about Sweeney Todd today. No? I guess we did that last week. Yeah. Oh, well.
Today's all about Funkadelic.
Anyway, stick around for that because she also will do a wrap-up of sort of what's happening around town, and she's a little bit more thorough than I am. So speaking of the arts in about a half an hour. All right.
Just a little.
Yeah, a little bit. So what else we got? How about if we play another song?
Sure.
You guys, we got plenty of time here. So
great.
Yeah, that was sounding good, man.
All right. Well, why don't you jump in this time, Paul? You got your
I didn't bring my harps.
Man, you can whistle.
If I would have, if I would have, man, I apologize.
I figured you carried a harmonica around with you everywhere you went. It's like with that thing you can just put in your pocket.
Kale now.
Yeah, that's right. I will tell you this though about the Daves. It's almost like a shame to put the harp on there because then you it takes away from this like string.
Oh, let's talk about the guitars after two.
All right.
Listen to metal guitars.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to hear a song from the Daves, and then we're going to talk a little bit about guitaring.
Let's do a little Skip James. Dave and I and a couple other folks recently returned from a trip to Bentonia, Mississippi.
That's right, yeah.
We partied at the Blue Front Cafe, which is probably the last of the places where any of the first generation recorded Delta blues musicians actually played.
They used to hang out there.
And Skip had played before his death at the Blue Front, and we were there for their 70th anniversary party.
Cool.
And it was a pretty good time, I must say.
It was a great party.
Yeah, it was. A very Mississippi endeavor, and I was glad to have been there and inspired to play some Skip James.
All right, this is the Daves on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
The devil, baby, be that woman's man. Yeah, I'd rather be the devil, baby, than ever be that woman's man. I ain't nothing but the devil, baby, ever gonna change that woman's man. I laid my head down, I tried to take a rest. Well, I laid my head down, you know, babe, I tried to take a rest. My mind was wandering, babe, like a wild beast in the wind. My best friend. Well, that woman I love, babe, you know I stole her from my best friend. But that joker got lucky, babe, you know he stole her right back again. I'd rather be the devil, babe, than be that woman's man. So I'd rather be the devil, babe, than never be that woman's man. 'Cause there ain't nothing but the devil ever gonna change that woman's mind.
Yeah.
All right. We'll skip James for a Friday morning.
I love it. And I got to tell you guys, I'm getting all kinds of text messages here. They're listening in Saginaw, Michigan. I just got to know.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, Joe.
From Dames, yeah.
Oh, so, yeah.
Dr. Joe Dames says hello to everybody.
What's up, Doc?
And also a lot of the gang around town. Mary's listening, and Elise, and a bunch of folks. So anyway,
cool.
Hi to everybody who's out there. We appreciate you guys listening, and girls. Okay, that was the Daves with a little bit of music from Skip. Who?
Skip James.
Skip James.
Originally recorded in 1928, and like many of the American Delta blues artists, the Depression hit shortly thereafter, and record sales plummeted, and they many of them landed in obscurity for decades thereafter, and then were quote unquote rediscovered. And Skip was one of the more famous who broke it out at the Newport Festival in the mid '60s, and sadly died shortly thereafter. But we had him for a couple years after that.
Amazing. So you said 1928?
1928 was when he recorded first, and that was at a time when there were talent scouts all over the South, and they were digging for what they termed at that time race records, music that would appeal to an African American Southern primarily audience, and they record in hotels or in furniture stores, and Skip was one of the ones that came out of Bentonia, and actually there's a Bentonia style that is carried on by the owner of the Blue Front, who's probably in his 70s himself, and has recorded, and you can hear his music. His name's Jimmy Duck Holmes, and he was there.
You gotta have a nickname, right?
He was there. Yeah.
Right.
He was in full force at the 70th party, and basically kind of preaching to us about the history of his place and what it means to carry that tradition on.
That's
and
awesome.
It was cool to be there for sure.
So that guitar you're playing is only a couple years younger than.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm playing this metal guitar. It's a National Duolian. It's a 1931 brand or model or year.
Wow.
And Duolian, this is sort of timely in a weird current way. They were sold through the Sears catalogs. And now Sears is in trouble and going under. And that's one aspect of...
They quit selling good guitars.
Well, that's one aspect of the Sears story, and its connection to Americana is without Sears, a lot of these folks would not have had guitars because they were primarily sold and delivered through the Sears catalog. So there's an interesting connection to American music history through the Sears tradition that is now kind of going by the wayside.
Amazing. And Dearnley, you're playing something similar.
Yeah, mine is a National Triolian, and I think the only difference is this has a maple neck and the Duolians have a mahogany neck, and mine's only about 11 years old. It's a reproduction of a 30s Model A.
I see. Right.
So,
are they fun to play? You play it pretty much like a regular guitar?
Yeah, it's the difference is the way that they produce sound is through a resonator. A regular acoustic guitar, it produces sound by vibrations that are pushed out through the open hole in the middle that the strings go across. Mm-hmm. A resonator guitar does not have that center hole, but if you were looking at this one, you would see F-shaped, sort of cursive F-shaped holes at the top where the neck meets the metal body.
Yeah, like you'd see on a big stand-up bass. Or something.
And there is a metal plate that covers a spun aluminum, basically a speaker that is laid down inside the guitar, upside down if you're thinking of what a speaker normally looks like inside a cabinet. Mm-hmm. And it floats on a what they call a biscuit that allows it to vibrate, and that vibration creates the sound, and you can instantly hear, when it's once you know what it sounds like, you can instantly recognize it on, they're on a lot of popular tunes, like Lucinda Williams has a few songs with resonator.
Love her.
Of course, any of the Acoustic Almond Brothers stuff, or there's a lot of modern day folks who incorporate a resonator into their recordings.
I think I may have not mentioned off the air, but Kevin and I went and saw a band in St. Louis last week called the Infamous String Dusters.
Oh, yeah. Andy Falco, he's my man.
Wow, what a guitar player. Yeah. But they got a guy who plays a dobro style on his lap, but it's kind of hung around his neck. He walks around with it wherever. But man, could that guy play it too? That was quite a band, those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see that as well. The term for that is overhand. So you're playing that instead of like Dave and I are playing it like you would see someone just regularly playing a guitar. Right. But you can lay a resonator flat and play. Usually that's with a slide. And that's kind of reminiscent of some classic honky-tonk kind of sounds like Scrappers might employ.
Right. Hey, Paul, speaking of the Scrappers, what for people who aren't familiar, where's your inspiration and sort of influences for writing the songs that have come on that record?
What the hell's up with that?
We like the old school country. I mean, definitely like the aesthetic part of it is from the old school country song, style and the arrangements and everything, like from the, like if you listen to a lot of like old Lefty Frizzell stuff, I would say primarily kind of in that category. Also like a lot of classic Wynn Stewart, the older country, just the symmetry, the arrangements, and one thing that's where it's different, like basically it's taking the format, but then it's just super sparse. Mm-hmm. The way we do it, where we don't have like a bunch of side guys playing, different guitars and pianos, like so there aren't as many layers. But that's because I prefer to have more open space in the record. It's like if you can play it and just have the voice there, and you have every instrument in its place, and it's not so crazy, and you know you can kind of
well, it works.
Air it out.
It works.
Amen to that. Yeah. And you were Paul was kind enough to lend his production talents to the Dave's record.
Is that right? I think he appears on a couple of them songs.
Oh yeah.
We did a little bit.
And importantly, but lending his. I mean, obviously the musical performance is great, but what is maybe a little more behind the scenes is lending your ear to the mixing and the mastering,
right.
And that sparseness is sometimes hard to find in recordings. And if you have someone in the studio who is saying, well, wait a minute, maybe you want to back off that snare and that tom a little bit so that you can sort of feature some of the vocals, or there's a myriad of examples of how that type of engineering is that production is invaluable.
Right.
So thank you publicly.
Yeah. Hey. Thank you publicly. The other deal, the main one, the project.
Got a bunch of ass kissing going on today.
Yeah, right.
No, really.
Yeah, that's right. No. Thank you. I just want to thank everybody listening. Richland Women is the one where we did the main project on that, on kind of arranging it and stuff, and getting the different people in there, getting John Randall on the on the violin-shaped object. We had Tony on the sax on that one. And
that's the one too on the record that has everybody in it, and that was you heard that from the outset and said, well, this should be the posse song. There's going to be a posse song on this record. This should be it.
Yeah, we built it as it's built like a country song, where it kind of like. Because it kind of is. All of those old tunes are more or less.
Right. They don't call it country blues for nothing.
Yeah, they're more or less country songs. So it's cool one though.
And that's the one that Eric Danielson, when he reviewed the record in the Tribune, it was he built his review around that song. It
was a real nice write-up.
Yeah, it really was. He's a great writer. We're lucky as a community to have him, and he's accessible and is willing to listen. The production and the performance of that particular song, Richland Women Blues, was something that stuck out to him too.
For those listening, if you're not familiar, you can find all these records out and about. The Dave's recently released album called Now and Then. I think it's available down at Hit Records.
It's available at Hit Records.
And probably online as well,
You can pick it up on Bandcamp, too. If you just search for the Daves, you can find it. And if you find yourself in Clarksdale, Mississippi, you can get it at Cathead Delta Blues.
That's fantastic.
Location.
You guys got a feature down there.
Yeah, well, it's there's two locations. There's one in Columbia, Missouri, and one in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
All right. Well,
that's our distribution strategy.
Yeah.
All right.
And anybody else that wants it.
It's a self-imposed
They're going fast.
Now, what about your record? Paul Weber and the Scrappers album is available. I know it's online.
Yeah, we have it online on Bandcamp where you can go download it. The other deal is we pretty much... I don't even know if we have it in any stores. You just got to go right to the source.
Well, come to the show tonight, and you can pick one up there at Cafe Berlin. They always got a nice little merch table there, and you guys have some T-shirts and some hats, maybe. I don't know. You still got your hats?
Yeah, we definitely got. We got a restock of some hats.
All right.
Yeah, second batch of hats.
Nice.
Second batch. So we got them ready here.
All right. So support our local regional fantastic musicians to go out there and buy a record or download some music or go buy a baseball cap or something like that.
And you can find us both on the Facebook.
Sure.
It's I'm almost reluctant to promote that, but for musicians, I mean, if there is a purpose to social media and to Facebook in particular, it is a tool that is unlike any other in terms of getting the word out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So if you want to go
I don't like it, but I agree.
Yeah, if you can go to the Scrappers Facebook page, you can go to the Dave's Facebook page, and if you like the page, then that adds to our presence, adds to our booking ability outside of this region, and it is a good way to get information. Regardless of the negatives of Facebook, for musicians, it is a tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mention once again what's going on tonight, and then we'll have you guys play another tune for us, okay?
Awesome.
Once again, happy hour. If you're out and about at Rose Music Hall, you'll have the Daves playing from 5 till about 7. And that's going to cross over with some music and some other fun stuff happening across the street at Cafe Berlin, which will begin a biscuits and barbecue and music party, I guess, tonight, starting about 5:30. Food being served, being provided by Three Creeks Produce. That's Paul Weber's project. Him and Emily out there. And you call it Ashland or?
It's an Ashland address, but it's
just sort of
like
unincorporated middle of nowhere out there.
Between Ashland and Columbia.
Right. Anyway, so great stuff tonight at Cafe Berlin. You'll hear Todd Day Waite, you'll hear the Daves, you'll hear Paul Weber and the Scrappers, and probably a mix-up of all of those guys at some point during the night. And if you are lucky, maybe you'll run into me and you can buy me a beer or something. Wait, no.
Hey,
that would make me lucky. Actually, I'll buy you a beer if you say, honestly, if I'm down there and you say, hey, I heard you guys on the radio this morning and that was great, now I'll buy you something.
Excellent. We'll back it up.
There you go.
We got it.
Does that work for us too?
Oh yeah, it doesn't work for you guys. You know, all present company excluded. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we got about 15 minutes. So play another song for me here, and then we'll chat a little bit more before we head on out of here. Okay.
Sounds good. So a couple times we've been playing just fingering the fretboards and not using a slide, but I've got this brass slide here, so might as well use it. And played that on Dust My Broom. The songs kind of take on a different quality when you're using a slide versus when you're not. So let's do a Furry Lewis tune. Let's do Falling Down Blues.
Here's one.
On our way down to Bentonia, we passed through Memphis, and that was Furry's hometown, and we once again paid homage to him and
had a drink with him.
We did, and we were. It's funny. We were staying at this place right across from a door that said "Do not block door," in big, bold, nasty letters. So of course, what we did is we went over and blocked the door, and did a little video recording. And damn, if we went right in the middle of the song, Furry Lewis song we were playing, that door didn't open. So I guess Furry was trying to tell us.
All right, you guys, we got one from the Daves here. This is a Furry Lewis tune, and you're listening to it on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
I got blues so bad, baby, hurt my feet to walk. Got blues so bad, hurts my feet to walk. I hate them so bad, hurting my tongue to talk. Oh, I feel like jumping, baby. Keyhole in your door, baby. I feel like jumping. Keyhole in your door. Keep jumping easy, your good man won't never know. I see calling rumbling, baby, but I call it falling down. Call it rumbling, I call it falling down. And I never did see, I never turned around. Baby, saddle up my black man, shove my buggy, baby, saddle up my black man. Find my girl in this big old world somewhere. Yeah, she called it rumbling, baby, but I called it falling down. She called it rumbling, called it falling down. I never did see, I never turned around. Well, I've been down so long, baby. Seems like up to me. I've been down so long, baby. Seems like up to me. You had to leave me, girl, down here in misery. I got blues so bad, baby. Hurt my feet to walk. I got blues so bad. Hurt my feet to walk. And it's so bad it hurting my tongue to talk. All right. Here's to you, Furry.
That's a great one. What's the name of that one, Dave?
That's called Falling Down Blues.
All right.
Furry was a street sweeper in Memphis, and if you kind of linger in Memphis at various places, you'll see homages to his presence.
Really?
And there's a place there's not many places on Beale that are worth anything, but there's one called Handy's Blues Hall, and they have one of Furry's guitar cases kind of hanging in a shrine-like spot, and it's an old hole-in-the-wall joint, so it seems appropriate, and we raised a few glasses there as well.
That's awesome. Sounds like you guys had a great trip.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, you used to play with Todd, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and Todd go way back.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your time with you. You know, he was here on the radio a month or so ago, and he mentioned a little bit about it, but I'd like to hear your side of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I plead the fifth. I don't know anything about anything. In fact, let me formally retract the statement. I don't know this guy you're talking about, and never met him. In fact, I'm not sure that he even exists. No, yeah, man. Me and Todd was like family. Now we go way back. So yeah, he was the first person when I was coming up as a young harmonica player. Basically, he was the first person who was like in a band, was touring and traveling around. He said, come out and play. And so we went out and went on the road with him and stuff. And we played all
California,
sorts.
New Orleans, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
man, we were going back and forth seasonally between like San Diego in the summertime and New Orleans in the wintertime, and then some touring in between. And we were buskers. We played on the street a bunch, like on Royal Street and stuff in New Orleans, and then hitting San Diego. I mean, we were playing bars and stuff in both of those places, and restaurants even. We played a lot of those type of more like a working show. Doing like everything from a bar, like a club set, to a 4-hour restaurant show or bar show. So yeah, and then we would. Yeah, and Matt Deathrow was there the whole time that I was there,
sure.
and he's actually still down in New Orleans playing the bass. But yeah, so we would go out to San Diego and we'd play these farmers markets and street fairs, which are just huge out there.
Right.
We would go and play like I think it was Oceanside. It'd be like 100,000 people would come to these street fairs, and it never rains.
Right.
And the whole like county of San Diego is basically a military base. 25% of the jobs are military jobs. So there's
a huge port there for all the ships. And
yeah, and so people have money. It's just people have government jobs and money. So we would go out there and nobody was busking. So we would go out and we at one point, once we realized what the story was, what the protocol was, we would just show up. We had one of those like collapsible TV trays, and wooden deal. We'd set it up on the street and we'd put our little merch case on top of it. We'd have our deal on, dressed nice out there, and I was at one point, and we would just shake them down, man. I forget what the record was, like what our number one sales, but we were selling these $5 CDs, just doing sort of a street routine.
Right.
I had one of those tin deal, like an old record player gramophone deals that I was playing the harp through, and because you just try to get people's attention. That's half the battle,
Right.
I mean, you can almost get money just for being there. But yeah, I think we sold
they call it being homeless.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which happens to be part of that story.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that part is actually accurate.
You guys had a van.
Well, but then the opposite
Yeah.
of that is true for New Orleans. I mean, it is no joke to be a busker in New Orleans. You cannot just go down there and stand around and expect to get noticed or even expect to stay standing there. So New Orleans is the opposite of that, I would say. I mean, that's real deal musicianship.
Yeah, and I haven't been down there in a few years busking or anything, but but it's, in my experience down there, it's a whole nother level. I would find that when we would go away seasonally, we would come back to New Orleans and feel like we were sloppy. Because people down there, they're just so playing so much that you just get on a higher level. And it took a few weeks of being there to kind of adjust and like get into the
tighten
routine.
Things up a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't get away with the same. I mean, San Diego, it's like the novelty factor there was enough where we
didn't have to be super tight or whatever.
Yeah, it was fine, but we were mostly, it's just a different
thing.
You want to step it up when you're down there,
right? All right, you guys, we've only got a couple more minutes, so I got to mention who's coming up here in the next few weeks, and you guys are welcome to chat in, jump in if you like. I'm actually going to be away next week. I've got to go to Chicago for see some family and take care of a little bit of business. But the following week, I will have Steve Anziger, I think,
awesome.
and maybe Joe the drummer with him, and maybe Kurt.
Steve.
Yeah, 2-Bit Steve. The following week is John Galbraith, and I'm not sure who'll be with him, but I'm excited to have John here in the studio. He's one of my faves around town. Molly Healy coming up at some point. I'm not sure when. We're kind of trying to figure out the scheduled thing. The Flood Brothers, K Brothers, Ray Fitzgerald. Yeah, I wanted to mention Ray. I'm on a total Ray Fitzgerald kick, and if you're not familiar with who this young woman is, she is a remarkable songwriter and performer, has a beautiful voice, and a record that I've been listening a lot to lately. In fact, I featured it last week on Radio Orbit, and it's called Popular Songs for Wholesome Families. And I'm telling you, this is another really good record that sort of, I can't imagine. I can't figure out why it hasn't gotten more attention. It might be because Ray's so casual and subtle and cool. She really doesn't promote herself really at all, to be honest. But I'm going to try to promote her because I think she's just fantastic. So.
Agreed.
Yeah,
and that list is a nice example of the resources we have here in Missouri and Columbia.
And they go on.
Just running down that list of who's coming on the show is impressive.
Very diverse too.
Well, that's sort of the idea. I'm trying to mix it up. I ran into Steady P and DJ Moff at the at the hip hop show. They did a Beastie Boys tribute a week or two ago, and I'm going to try to get some hip hop on the show here now too, because I connected back up with Steady, who I haven't seen in
since
years.
Blue Few
days, right? And the open mic days back then.
How's Steady doing, man?
He's doing good. He's doing really well actually, and still rocking the music.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they're doing real well. So
are we.
You guys are all doing it, and I'm so pleased to be a part of it. And you guys are my brothers. And
thanks for having us, Mike.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled.
Mike.
I can't wait to see you tonight. I'll catch you at Rose, and if not there, I'll definitely see you down at Berlin.
Rose Music Hall 5 to 7, Cafe Berlin thereafter.
That's right. You got Todd Day Waite, you got the Daves, you got Paul Weber and the Scrappers. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do a little homage to Todd because we haven't played one of his today. So on the way out here, we're going to hear one that's called Early Morning Blues from Todd Day Waite, something that he played actually live in the studio about 2 months ago, and I was lucky enough to get a really good recording of it, and it's a fantastic song. I have an idea that I might try to take some of the better material that we record on this program, maybe a year from now when we got a lot to grab from, and try to put together a record and use it as a promotional thing or a benefit for the station or something like that. Maybe you guys we could figure out a way
come back and play better.
Well,
yeah, that was the subtext there. Yeah,
we get what you're saying.
All right. That being said,
just like last time, except better.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good place to wrap it up, you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.
All right, it's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Stick around for Diana Moxon and Speaking of the Arts. That's coming up in about 3 minutes. And in the meantime, here's one left for this program. This is Todd Day Waite with a song called Early Morning Blues. It's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. My name is Mike Hagan, and this has been Open Mic Radio.
I got the early morning blues. Got the early morning blues. Hey, I got 'em in my head from the things she said. Lord, that don't give you them morning blues. Hey, she told me this, she told me that, told me that she loved me right out flat. Then she changed her plan. Hey, she needs a new man. Oh Lord, that don't give you them morning blues. Well, she got a new one, boy, you know that's true. She's holding him now, she ain't holding you. You know what they're doing now. Hey, you know what they're doing now. Lord, that don't give you them morning blues. I'll tell them that. Missing me, she ain't a missing nothing. She's getting plenty, a new guy hugging. You know what they're doing now. They ain't hugging, folks. Oh, you know what they're doing now. Oh Lord, they don't give you
them on the morning blues. What else now? Is he sweeter than me? Pure cane sugar. Better than me? A darn good cooker. Todd, you're like grits. The new boys like sweet tea. Oh, Lord, that don't give you them on the morning blues. I'll tell them I got the early morning blues. Yes, the early morning blues. Yeah, I got them in my head from the things she said. Lord, that don't give you them on the morning blues.